Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Start off with some quick sports. Last night, I actually took my son to the New York City football game. They played Miami, and Messi played. Messi is my son's favorite player. And Messi got busy last night. He scored 2 goals. New York City Football Club lost 4-0, but what a game it was last night. So salute to the New York City Football Club of Miami won last night. And also tonight in Thursday Night Football, the Seahawks take on the Cardinals on Prime at 8:15. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Charlamagne.
Peace, Mimi.
Good morning. All right, y'all. Well, we start in Dallas this morning where gunfire broke out at a U.S. Immigrations and Custom Enforcement field office. Now, 3 detainees were shot. 1 is dead. 2 others are fighting for their lives in critical condition. No ICE officers were hurt. Now, the shooter has been identified as 29-year-old Joshua John. Officers say he opened fire from a nearby rooftop before turning the gun on himself. The FBI is calling it targeted violence. Now, investigators say shell casings left at the scene were engraved with the words anti-ICE. But John's background, though, it paints a more complicated picture. Public records show he once faced a minor marijuana charge, lived with his parents in a Dallas suburb, and spent a lot of time online talking about video games, cars, and pop culture. He voted in both Democratic and Republican primaries and showed little sign of strong political activism. For now, investigators are still working to understand the motive for the attack. But the political fallout has already started. President Trump calling the shooting despicable and blaming what he called the radical left Democrats for demonizing ICE. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem promising to hire more ICE agents, casting the shooting as part of a broader war on immigration enforcement. And J.D. Vance, his comments are probably getting the most attention this morning. Let's hear what he had to say.
But what we know is that in Dallas, Texas, an ICE facility, an Immigrations and Customs Enforcement facility, was opened fire upon by a violent left-wing extremist, a person who wrote anti-ICE messaging on their bullets. And there's some evidence that we have that's not yet public, but we know this person was politically motivated. They were politically motivated to go after law enforcement. They were politically motivated to go after people who are enforcing our border.
I wonder how do we know that this individual didn't have people that were deported? Have family members that were deported or a girlfriend? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. Do we know that?
We don't know any of that. Even the FBI has said it's still under investigation. And so to come out and say, it's kind of like what we saw with the Charlie Kirk shooting, they come out and say these things. And so immigration advocates are pushing back, pointing that it was detainees, not officers, who were struck by gunfire. They say that while Washington frames this as an attack on law enforcement, it's the migrant community that they feel like the real target. Wednesday shooting, though, in Dallas was the second attack on this ICE facility in recent weeks. Just last month, a suspect was arrested for making a bomb threat against that same office. And in July, a police officer was shot outside another detention center just 40 miles away.
Well, I think it's extremely dangerous for the Vice President of the United States of America to come out and immediately politicize this situation. I don't know why they do this. I don't know why the right immediately blames the left. I don't know why the left immediately blames the right. Why can't everybody just take a step back and let's see what this person's motive was first?
Exactly. Let the investigation play out. And we're less than a week away from a possible government shutdown. And this time, Republicans say they're ready to make it as painful as possible for Democrats. Now, talks between the two parties have gone nowhere for weeks. Democrats want to protect the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Republicans want a short-term clean spending bill, and neither side is budging. That has left President Trump and GOP leaders feeling confident they can pin the blame on Democrats if the government shuts down. Now, a shutdown would have a wide-ranging effects. Federal workers could be forced to report without pay. National parks would close. Agencies like Veteran Affairs, the IRS, and Health and Human Services could see disruptions, consequences that would hit families, seniors, and veterans before they touch lawmakers. Now, Republicans say they are united in their position, and with Trump back in the White House, they believe they control the narrative by deciding what services are deemed essential. GOP Senator Mark Marshall put it bluntly, saying red states will be spared the hardest. red states will be spared the hardest hits, while blue states should expect more pain. Now, Democrats, however, argue that Republicans are the ones pushing the government toward a shutdown, and Trump canceling a meeting this week with House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Senate Leader Chuck Schumer earlier this week only underscore the stalemate. They say he's signaling that he's willing to let the deadline pass without a deal. So at its core, this fight is about leverage. Republicans want to weaken Democratic priorities like healthcare funding, and they insist that these programs must be protected, while Republicans, they want a clean spending bill. So they say right now both sides remain dug in, with a possible shutdown just days away. So we'll see what happens.
So while they have a pissing contest, as usual, we the people suffer.
Yep,
the American
suffer.
people suffer.
That's right.
Exactly. So we'll continue to watch this and see what happens next week. Coming up, another headache for Disney and maybe for you too. We'll tell you what's happening coming up next.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Now, some quick sports. Salute to the New York City Football Club. It's a soccer team in New York City. They played Miami. My son's favorite player was Messi, so we went there to watch Messi. Messi scored 2 goals. They blew us out. But salute to the New York City Football Club.
You know what I find
Amazing
so
game.
funny about that? The Giants are 0-3. The Jets are 0-3. Got these motherfuckers going to watch soccer.
Damn.
And y'all still lose. Even the soccer team still losing.
Damn, yeah.
God damn. Y'all can't wait for this baseball season.
Baseball season is good.
And basketball season.
The Yankees
I was
actually
gonna say,
number one in the
Yankees
division.
actually,
Yankees is good.
yeah.
Yankees
Oh, it's
is
baseball
good.
season already?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
about to go to playoffs.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't be paying no attention.
And tonight, if you're into football, so the Seahawks take on the Cardinals on Thursday Night Football at 8:15. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, NB, Jess, and Charlamagne. How y'all doing?
Peace,
Good
Mimi.
morning.
Good morning. Okay, so let's talk about Jimmy Kimmel and his big return to late night TV. The numbers are in, and it was a huge success. 6 million viewers on ABC, 15 million clicks on YouTube. His first show since the suspension is now the most watched Jimmy Kimmel Live episode in more than a decade. Now, according to ABC, the episode drew in 6.3 million viewers on traditional television, and that's more than 3 times the show's normal audience. Now, online, the impact was much larger. Kimmel's nearly half-an-hour monologue on free speech, it has gone viral, clocking more than 15 million views on YouTube and tens of millions of more on social media, making it his most watched monologue ever. Now, all this happened despite the show being blacked out in nearly a quarter of American homes. Station groups like Nexstar and Sinclair, which control dozens of ABC affiliates, they refused to air the episode, but viewers in those markets went online instead, turning Kimmel's comeback into a streaming event. Now, Kimmel was sidelined for nearly a week after a controversial monologue about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk that sparked backlash and political pressure. But now the numbers suggest the attempt to silence him may have backfired. Critics and free speech advocates say the suspension set a dangerous precedent, and instead of shrinking his audience, the controversy supercharged it, making Kimmel's return one of the most talked about late night moments ever.
Yeah, as you said, Mimi, this is his highest rated show in over a decade. So this lets me know the audience is still there for late night, but you have to give folks must-see TV. It has to be an experience. It has to be something they feel like they can't miss. I don't want to wait to watch this on YouTube. I need to see this in real time now. I don't know how many more of those you can create though.
Yeah. That was probably, and I'm thinking this week, the numbers will probably stay high, but we'll see what happens. But because it was blacked off in about 23% of the markets, and he still broke records, it just goes to show you people don't want to be censored, or they don't want their show censored or told what they can watch and what they can't watch.
Yeah, I watched it again last night because I felt like the monologue when he came back was a little too safe for my liking. You know what I mean? Especially being of the moment that we're in. I felt like it should have just been I don't know. I just felt like it should have been a lot more stronger. It shouldn't have been about him. It should have been about the moment that we're in, as far as they're trying to take away freedom of speech and him being on Trump's hit list. So I listened again last night to see how he would bring it, and he came at Trump a little bit.
Yeah, he had some moments. Did you see the skit with Robert De Niro?
I did. Yep, I did.
Okay. They had a few little punchy jokes in there too. So that was fun. All right. Well, Kimmel isn't the only Disney Disney making headline. The company is facing heat on another front. Its streaming business. Starting next month, prices are going up again for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN streaming service. It's the third October in a row that Disney has raised fees, and the timing couldn't be more awkward, coming just as millions of people say they are canceling their subscriptions in protest of Kimmel's suspension. So how much more are you going to have to pay? Well, Disney and Hulu with ads will climb from about $10 to $12 a month, while their ad-free versions will jump from about $16 to $19. And ESPN streaming service is also going up about $1 from $12 to $13 a month. Now, Disney insists these price hikes were already planned, so they come as the company is moving ahead with bigger changes. After completing its full takeover of Hulu this past summer, Disney says it will fully merge Hulu into Disney Plus by 2026, though standalone subscriptions will still be available. I didn't cancel my Hulu subscription because I wanted to watch Reasonable Doubt, but I understand the reason. So I'm still here. I'm glad that he's back on the air, so I don't feel any pressure to do that.
Yeah, I didn't cancel my subscription because I got kids. All right, Bluey and Spidey and his amazing friends. Yep. Like that got my household got my house in a chokehold. What
yeah, my daughter too.
Yeah, so some tough calls there. All right, and in the middle of funding, we're going to switch gears just a little bit. In the middle of funding cuts hitting colleges nationwide, there is some good news for HBCUs. Billionaire Mackenzie Scott, the ex-wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, has donated $70 million to the United Negro College Fund, one of the largest gifts in history. Now, the money will be divided among 37 private, historically black colleges and universities. So schools like Spelman, Howard, Hampton, Morehouse, Tuskegee will each receive roughly about $5 million through a pooled endowment fund designed to strengthen long-term financial health of HBCUs. It's part of the bigger UNCF push to raise $1 billion for these schools. Now, timing matters because across the country, many colleges are losing funding and seeing enrollment drop. HBCUs, which have always been underfunded, continue to produce, as we know, generations of black leaders. And the UNCF president, he put it, we've always done we've always done more with less, and now it's time to do more with more.
Man, dropping the clues bombs from Mackenzie Scott. That is dope. Incredible.
That is.
I can't wait till I can do stuff like that. $70 million to HBCUs.
That's amazing.
God damn. Dropping the clues bombs from Mackenzie Scott, man. That is incredible.
Absolutely.
Salute to her. Because she don't got to do that.
Nope, not at all.
She ain't
She has a history of doing that, right? She has a history of donating to just underserved college and universities, black colleges and universities, and other underserved, organizations. So we love that.
Yeah, she's just a person who cares. Like she's a big philanthropist. That's Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. So she got the bag.
Yes, she does.
You know what I'm saying? And she's utilizing it the right way. So salute to her.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV for more stories. Follow Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app or visit binnews.com.
Thank you, Mimi.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?